Hi kids, or should I say greetings programs. I'm sorry I'm a bit late with this. I promised this would be out at 5 o'clock and I'm currently recording this at 5 to 5, so it's my fault. I talk a lot. So Tron Ares review. I'm going to start off without spoilers. I'll just tell you my general thoughts about the film and then I'll mention spoilers. I won't spoil it too much, but I'll mention things that may spoil your enjoyment of the film. But I'll give you fair warning so you could tune away or whatever. Anyway. As I said in my previous video, I don't expect Tron Ares to make a lot of money. Apparently it's dropping off quite badly at the box office and a lot of people are very, very happy about that. The YouTube reviewers, the haters, the people who aren't going to watch it are all like, ha 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 ha, it's going to flop. That's unavoidable, I think, for the reasons that I said in my video. There's Disney's treatment of the Tron franchise, people not being too fussed on Jared Leto, the distance between films, the tricky kind of the concept of to get your head around of what Tron actually is. But my initial thoughts are, all I said, I wanted to be entertained. I don't care how much money it makes in the box office. I'm a massive Tron fan. Please don't ruin, please don't give us a dud. Even if it was a dud, the previous films and Tron Uprising series are not affected, okay? I don't believe that something rubbish will affect what goes before. Otherwise, I wouldn't be liking the Star Wars original trilogy, would I? Anyway, did I enjoy Tron Ares? Yes, I did. It's actually a heck of a lot better than people have said. That's a relief. All I wanted was to be entertained. It might be dumb. I haven't watched any of the big reviewers who are ripping it to shreds and pulling out all these plot holes and why it's dumb and why it's this and why it's that. But was it entertaining? It was very entertaining. Like a lot of people said, the effects, all done by ILM. They're all, stunning visuals. Jared Leto is, he's Marmite, isn't he? Because at the end of the day, I couldn't stand his rendition of the Joker. And I haven't seen him in much else, apart from things like Blade Runner 2049. But you could take him or leave him. But he's okay in this. He's playing the Ares character as you'd imagine. He's slightly artificial and very sort of reserved and sort of quiet, almost childlike. There are parallels with Frankenstein and things like that. Like the whole Born Yesterday type thing. So he's kind of like a bit like Vision in Marvel, that kind of thing. Because he's a synthetic character that's been brought into existence. The film mainly features, fixes on a new lead character called Eve Kim. And she is one of a pair of Asian sisters who were running Encom, the company that Kevin Flynn started. They took over Encom after Sam Flynn from Tron Legacy disappeared and quit the company for unknown reasons. That's a little bit of exposition from the start of the film. I won't go into too many spoilers, but Eve is about to crack the code for bringing something into the real world, which is, as you know in the trailers, Ares comes into the real world. But there are problems inherent in that. No one's been able to get it right. Enter the bad guys. The bad guys are Gillian Anderson, and Evan Peters. They're the main bad guys, and they're the Dillinger, the Dillinger kids. So basically, Gillian Anderson plays the daughter. I think her name is Julia Dillinger, the daughter of the dear departed David Warner, who played Edward Dillinger in the 1982 film. And Evan Peters plays Julian Dillinger. That's right, yeah. So maybe I got Gillian's name wrong. Anyway, so Gillian's his mother, and Evan Peters is the grandson of Ed Dillinger. Now, if you go back to Tron Legacy, Cillian Murphy had a cameo near the start as the son of Ed Dillinger. He just gets up from the table and goes, "Dad, hi," because Ed Dillinger is apparently in prison, for what he did in the first 1982 Tron film. Anyway, Julian Dillinger, Evan Peters' character, is still trying to snoop on Eve Kim's at work and trying to find out what she's doing. But in the meantime, he thinks he's cracked the code into bringing things into real world. And he's talking, as you see in the trailers, he's invented a super soldier called Ares. He's invented tech and all sorts of stuff that, he wants to sell to the military. But it's not 100% perfect. There's a big flaw with it, which I won't go into. So, as you can probably imagine, one of the central characters is Tron Ares. Sorry, he's not called Tron, he's called Ares. Sadly, although the franchise is called Tron, there's not much connection to the Tron. In fact, there's not much connection to the characters from Tron Legacy, really, but I'll go into the reasons of that in the spoiler section later. All I can say is that there's a lot of cat and mouse, a lot of chasing. There's some really good bits. In fact, there's no bits that are absolutely terrible that I was like, oh, hurry up and finish this. There's one or two tiny little humorous lines in there, and it's welcome. It's fine. It's not laugh a minute. It's not silly one-liners every 2 seconds. It's played mostly seriously. Everyone's acting really well. I think it's fine. I mean, the Eve Kim character and her friends are their sort of hackers and co-workers and stuff. You don't get to learn a lot about them too much, but it's just kind of in the moment. It's they're coming after us. We got to escape, and this is happening. That's happening. Ares is doing this. Ares is escaping. Ares is getting caught, and Ares is a very kind of moral gray area. He's not sure whether he should be doing what his programs tell him to do, i.e., his creator, Julian Dillinger, or what he's, after doing a lot of research in his own mind, or whatever, with all his programming, he's beginning to have doubts about what he's doing, because he's finding out about Eve Kim and what she had in her life that was important to her. So he's kind of a little bit sort of, torn between, conflicted. It's like the whole Darth Vader having second thoughts about Luke Skywalker being his son and going, I don't know now. So there's that. Overall, I'll end the non-spoiler section here by saying I went to the cinema. There was about 12 of us in the big screen one. And you know what? It's a shame, because it's a good film. It's an enjoyable film. There's enough exposition there so you don't have to watch the other two. But if you do watch the other two, you'll get so much more out of it. There are member berries. There are callbacks to Tron Legacy and Tron 1982, which you'll go, oh, I remember that. But they haven't overdone it. They haven't over-egged the pudding. It's just good enough for you to go, yes. And if you didn't get half of those, because my friend who was with me hasn't seen the Tron movies for quite a while, and he missed a lot of the member berries, but it was fine. He still really enjoyed it. And he does want to go back and watch the Legacy and 82 Tron now because he's enjoyed this one. It's a relief. There is a mid-credit sequence. There's not one right at the very end of the credits, so you'd have to wait until they've all rolled. There is a mid-credit sequence, which is very good. Really like that. And that ends the non-spoiler section of this review. I just thought it was a very enjoyable film. It's a shame it's not going to make a lot of money, and as such, we might not get another Tron film for another 10 years or whatever it is. I hope we do. The same producers on board, Steven Lisberger, who directed the 82 Tron and produced the Tron Legacy. Jared Leto's fine. The action is really good. The story is good. No problems. My marks out of 10, as I always do. Blimey. I'll give this a solid 8. A solid 8. There was nothing in it that I thought, oh God, hurry up and finish. It was entertaining from start to finish, and I thought, yeah. And admittedly, I'm a massive Tron geek. I'm a proper Tron fan. Joe Public might not get Tron as much as I do, but that's all I wanted. I wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to switch my brain off, eat some popcorn, which I did and got all down me, and enjoy it. And I did. 8 out of 10. Now, spoilers coming up. If you don't want the film spoiled, now's your chance to stop. Thanks for watching. Go away now before you get the film spoiled for you. But I do recommend you go and see it. Okay, here come spoilers. The problem that the Dillinger company has with bringing things into the real world is that they only last for 28 minutes before they conk out. They disintegrate, they de-res. And Ares is basically dubbed the new master control program for Dillinger. So Dillinger wants him to track down Eve, Kim, and get what she's discovered, the permanence code. The permanence code is a digital program, a tiny little piece of code that will make things stay in the real world for longer, well, for permanent, for longer than 28 minutes before deresing. And with a number of tests that they do, and a good throwback to the first film, they bring an orange tree into existence, because in the very first Tron 82 film, they digitize an orange and bring it back. So in this one, they bring back an entire orange tree from nowhere, and it lasts longer than 28 minutes. So like, we've cracked it. We've got the permanence code. So everyone is after this permanence code. Ares is initially sent out like a Terminator to take Eve down and get the code from her. At some point, Eve gets digitized. He gets captured by Dillinger, and with a gun that's got a laser on it, and it digitizes Eve into the digital realm, into the grid. And she meets Ares, and she convinces Ares, who's done enough research by now, to start realizing that maybe he's on the wrong side. And he ends up making a choice and deciding to protect her. And what he gets out of the bargain is he gets the permanence code so he can come into the real world and exist like a real boy. So it's a bit Pinocchio there. There is mentions of Frankenstein and stuff. And this begins the cat and mouse thing. Now, a lot of people are asking about, well, are there any connections to Tron Legacy? Right at the start, there's an expositionary news bulletin thing that says that Sam Flynn quit the company due to unknown reasons. And I thought, oh, that's about it. They're not going to mention him. And they kind of don't. But they mention Kevin Flynn a lot more. And Ares, in between stints of trying to protect Eve and going back and forth the grid, he ends up getting sent into the 1982 grid, the server, Kevin Flynn's original server, which is proper retro 1982 Tron. And if you've ever seen the 82 version, there's so many little things that you recognize, and there's the floating bit that says yes and no and all that kind of stuff. And there's the original classic light cycle, which was in one of the trailers anyway, the yellow light cycle. And it was absolutely joyous. And that's where he meets Kevin Flynn. Now, I know Flynn derezzed and disappeared at the end of Tron Legacy, saving his son. But this is not the same thing. It's because Kevin Flynn created that grid. His spirit is infused within that grid, and it took the form of a kind of a ghostly, like Obi-Wan. He's a kind of a slightly transparent in robes, and he's clearly getting older. Kevin Flynn, and he ends up giving the permanence code to Ares. And because Ares has turned good, Julian Dillinger uses Ares' second in command, a female program called Athena. She becomes the main sort of Terminator-style bad guy who's after all of them. And the thing about these bad guys is when they get destroyed or derezzed, they just bring another one back. So that's quite a novel thing. Like I said earlier, really enjoyed the film. There was a few member berries, but not enough that you would be lost. And also it wasn't overdone. So every 2 minutes there was oh God. The score by Nine Inch Nails is very good, very pounding. Not as iconic as Daft Punk, not hummable enough, but I suppose it'll grow on me. But when they go into the 1982 grid, the music gives way to some of Wendy Carlos's original Tron score, which is fitting for that environment. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so well done. There's nothing in there that I'd call shonky or bad or hammy, or I just thought it was just a really good ride. And it is a shame that we probably won't get another Tron movie for a long time now, because it's not doing too well at the box office. Because the quality's there, it's just people don't get it, or the people don't like Jared, or Disney has no faith in it. It's only had $180 million budget, which is not big nowadays. It sounds like a lot of money, but not compared to your average Marvel or Star Wars. They may have put in 180 million making the film, a production budget, but they probably spent about £5 on posters. They didn't give it the advertising it should have had. And that will unfortunately lead to its box office being shocking, and everyone saying it must be a terrible film because look how little money it made. But that's not the point. Every Tron film has been a kind of disappointment at the box office, but a cult hit, and this adds nicely to the legend of Tron, the franchise of Tron. It certainly hasn't ruined what's gone before. It's added a little bit more to it, and it's satisfying and it's good fun. So you got nothing to worry about. Now, the mid-credits scene, when all's said and done, the the Dillinger company is being disbanded and taken over by the police have sort of marched in and everything, and they're looking to arrest Julian Dillinger. And the cops are trying to break the door down, or whatever, and Dillinger's in his office thinking, how can I escape? So he sets up his lasers to digitize him. So he runs into the lasers. And that happens at the end of the film. Then the end of the credits roll or whatever. And the mid-credits scene is Dillinger waking up in the digital world, like, oh my God, I've made it kind of thing. He looks up and he sees a stand in front of him which has a red frisbee with the red concentric circles on. And as he reaches for it, you hear the words, Sark, which is his grandfather's character from the first Tron film. So he grabs the disc and all of a sudden his clothing starts changing and he screams, but he's wearing the beginnings of the 1982 Sark costume. So that's like Sark 2.0 is coming back. What a great way to leave it. Another spoilery bit, which is not in the end credit scene, it's the end of the movie. Ares is seen a bit like in that the third Christian Bale Batman movie, when Batman is Bruce Wayne is seen in a cafe and he looks over at Alfred and he's like, cheers and all that kind of thing. So Ares has written a postcard to Eve explaining that he's been going around finding out about life in the real world, etc., etc. And he pulls up a picture of Sam and Cora from Tron Legacy, and he's like, I wonder, how they're doing, where they are. And then he picks up another picture of Olivia Wilde as she looks now, with sort of blonde hair, looking a bit older, and it says underneath, last seen, and it's got some GPS coordinates. So it's like he's on a mission to try and find Cora and Sam. So that leaves another string open. So there's plenty of places to go with it, but will it actually happen? We don't know, and it's not looking likely. I've got to admit that. But there you go. There's my review, non-spoilery and spoilery, of what I'm calling 8 out of 10. A nice addition to the film, a lot better than I thought it would be. Enjoyable from start to finish, nothing too cringy. I couldn't find anything cringy in it, to be honest. I'll happily go and watch it again tomorrow. It's not like, oh, that's me done for a bit. No, it was fun. It was good fun. And it was just enough for a Tron fan to love. And I think if you don't know much about Tron, you would probably get more from watching the previous movies first, but you'll enjoy this one. Jared Leto is surprisingly restrained and plays it sensitively and naively, like a bit like a Keanu Reeves type, Good film. And I don't give two squirts of pee what the haters and the big review channels say. Oh, it's a disaster. It's not a disaster. What are you expecting, Shakespeare? But it's not even a B movie. It's good. It's a good film. It's good fun. That's all I want. Did I sit down and go, oh, wasted my money? I was like, no. I was like enjoying I could watch another 2 hours of it. It was fine. So if you're thinking, well, I can't bother to watch that, it's not doing very well at the box office, go watch it while you can. And if you can watch it in IMAX, even better. I didn't get to see it in IMAX, unfortunately. I saw it in my local, very small cinema. It's not even a multiplex. It has 5 screens, but they're very small screens. It's like a little theatre type thing. But a good time at the cinema. Tron Ares. Obviously, it's just come out on release, so I'd rather if you didn't put some spoilers in the comments. I mean, I could always hide them. But let's let people watch it first and make their own minds up about it. And I think you should. If you don't like it for whatever reason, that's fine. It's completely up to you. I try to be as open-minded as possible, and I liked it. I'm a little bit biased because I'm a massive Tron fan, but I can't think of anything that was egregiously bad. Maybe it'll dawn on me, I don't know. But go see it, make your mind up. That's it. See you next time. Bye-bye.